5 little words just killed your goal. Did you catch them? If you really struggle to stick to your goals, today I'm going to be revealing the best way to achieve your goals by highlighting the common mistakes that are sabotaging your success, as well as the 6 essential features of an effective goal, and most importantly, the goal setting system that can turn your most ambitious dream into a reality. Hi, I'm Ashley and welcome back to my channel focused on delivering content around personal growth and well-being for women. Did you know that in January, gym signups increased by 12%? Within 6 months, half of those new members have already quit. It's always going to be easier to give up on your goals than to pursue them. Understanding the difference between a strong goal and a weak one could mean the difference between your success or your failure. So let's dive into the common goal setting mistakes and how you can avoid them. Number 1, ditch annualized thinking. So picture this, it's January, you've just set your New Year's resolution, which is to lose some of that Christmas weight, and you don't really have the specifics, but you kind of know that you need to hit the gym a couple of times a week and also to have a bit of a healthier diet. But by the time the second week comes around, you're starting to fall off. But you tell yourself, hey, don't stress, it's only January, I've got loads of time. 5 little words just killed your goal. Did you catch them? In the incredible goal-setting book entitled The 12-Week Year, the authors Brian Moran and Michael Lennington give a name to this type of phenomena, annualized thinking, which is the idea that we set goals with an annual outlook. And because of that, we start to relax, believing that we're always gonna have loads of time to achieve that goal that we'd set. But this is a slippery slope for 2 reasons. Firstly, it encourages procrastination by reducing your urgency to act. Now, back in uni, if I thought that I had an assignment to hand in and that I had loads of time to do it, the last thing I would be doing was study. I'd be prioritizing socializing or just doing things that I found way more interesting than writing an essay on Don Quixote. But the closer that deadline got, the more my focus increased. And when there were like 2 days to go before the essay was due, you could not get me out of that library. I was in there day and night until that assignment was complete. The same principles can be applied to the annual goals that we make in January that never seem to make it to December. The deadline is just too far away to give us any sense of urgency to act. However, bringing that deadline closer, making it a short-term goal rather than a long-term one, pushes that goal up the priority list and helps us to find motivation to start working towards it. The second problem with annualized thinking is that it reduces accountability. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to rationalize poor choices or behavior? If you're not meeting your goal targets on a particular week, you need to be able to take an evaluative approach to your performance, not an emotional one, so that you can identify the problems in order to be able to change them. So if you didn't go to the gym when you were meant to go, just telling yourself, it's only January, I've got loads of time, it doesn't solve the problem, it masks it. And even though it might be uncomfortable to look at yourself and realize, I lack discipline, I need to develop consistency in this area, in the long run, that's better because you're going to be able to do something about it and ultimately attain your goal. Number 2, ditch SMART goals. In this acronym, the S stands for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R for realistic, and T for time-bound. Now, it makes sense to want to set goals according to this framework. I mean, why would you want to set a goal that's unattainable or unrealistic? But interestingly enough, that is pretty much what the research says that we should do. The acclaimed psychologists Edwin Locke and Gary Latham found that in the early stages of goal setting, thinking about what is realistic or attainable is actually counterintuitive and encourages us to have self-limiting beliefs. Your mindset and attitude towards achieving your goals are directly linked to your outcomes. And because of this, it's one of the first things that you need to address before you even start setting any goals for yourself. If you believe that something is not possible for you, you won't achieve it. It's as simple as that. However, the inverse is also true. If you believe that you can achieve something extraordinary, you start to engage your brain in a different way. What you desire is brought closer to you, not by random or by accident, but because you start thinking creatively about how you can achieve that thing. How to set effective goals. Research into goal theory points to the following 6 characteristics as essential to an effective goal. As you will see, we're not throwing away all of the letters from the SMART acronym. In fact, 3 of them will make up part of this essential list. So S is for specificity. The clearer your goal is, the easier it is to execute. And with consistent execution, you will achieve your goal. Imagine 2 friends want to lose weight. One writes down, I want to lose weight. The second friend writes, I want to lose 8 pounds in a month. I will do this by prepping my meals, making sure I'm in a calorie deficit, and by weight training 3 times a week. Which of the friends do you think is more likely to achieve their goal? It's a no-brainer. Instead of being vague with your goals, get to the nitty-gritty of them. Focus on what you would like your goal to look like once it's complete and the steps that you could take to get there. M is for measurable. In the previous example, the second friend had a goal that was easy to measure. She would easily have been able to create a diet tracker as well as a fitness tracker and log how much exercise she's done throughout the week as well as what she's eating. She could have used a spreadsheet like Excel or even something like Notion, which is actually my new best friend and what I've been using for my own 12-week year goals. But we'll come on to that later. What is important is that being able to measure your progress allows you to have feedback, and the more feedback you receive, the more opportunity you have to intervene when things are going wrong. You'll be able to keep yourself on the track for success. The next essential characteristic is a short-term deadline. And we briefly spoke about the importance of timescales and why we need to ditch this annualized way of thinking. Using that annualized approach would mean that you only really give yourself one feedback opportunity, December, the end of the year, in order to assess whether you have been successful in achieving your goal or not. For me, that's a lot of pressure. Not only does creating smaller deadlines give you more feedback, but according to research by Locke and Latham, again, shorter deadlines are greater motivators for people, allowing them to work faster and more intensely for a period of time. Accountability. Now, I often hear people say when it comes to goals and things that they're aiming for, that they want to move in silence, which basically means they don't want to tell anyone about it. And I get it. People have a really weird way of projecting their insecurities and their concerns onto you. However, when I say accountability, I'm not talking about shouting your goal at anyone that will listen. I'm talking about having an inner circle of people who are trustworthy and ultimately support you as you make your way through your goals. And the reason why this is important is because getting specific feedback from others about your progress towards your goal is another direct marker of your achievement. So whether you decide to make yourself a goal WhatsApp group or join a Facebook group with like-minded individuals or even just schedule a call with a really close friend, it's definitely worth getting plugged in to a supportive network. Level of challenge. When it comes to goals, playing it safe can actually do more harm than good. Locke and Latham found a positive linear relationship between goal difficulty, effort, and performance, which translates to the more challenging a goal is, the more effort and performance you will put in to actually achieving it. Lastly, a goal needs to be meaningful. In a different study by Latham, it was highlighted that understanding why you want to achieve a goal is essential when it comes to you actually being able to achieve it. And I think for most of us, this is actually common sense. We've all been there, those days when we have to drag ourselves out of our warm beds on a freezing cold day to go to work. Why do we do it? Because we understand the bigger picture and we know what it means to have a salary, and we also know what it means to not have one. And this is why it's important to have a deep emotional connection with the goals that you make. Because on those hard days when you've got to drag yourself out of bed, you're gonna know why, and that will keep you motivated. So once you've made sure that your goals are specific, measurable, have a short-term deadline, are challenging, meaningful, and facilitate accountability, it's time to execute. Introducing the best method for achieving your goals, the 12-week year. What is the 12-week year? The 12-week year is a time management system focused on setting goals and achieving them within a 12-week span. Essentially, the calendar year is divided into quarters, allowing you to set, execute, and evaluate your goals and your progress towards them at least 4 times over the course of a year, which potentially allows you to achieve 4 times more than you would have if you still had annualized thinking. This system is most effective when combined with clear goals and targeted and measurable strategies that you can employ over the course of 12 weeks to help you make progress. Now, in this video, we've already seen that the research supports making your goals specific, measurable, having accountability, making them short-term, and the 12-week year combines all of that and more with pretty impressive results. If you're thinking, sounds good, but how do I implement it? In my next upload, I will be giving you a detailed look into how I design my goals and track them using Notion, from conducting my Wheel of Life audit to designing my daily and weekly trackers that really help to keep me accountable. And if I can figure out how to do it, I will make my template available for you to download as well. So subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss it. Hopefully you've been able to see how crucial goal setting is to your future success and to your future self. But it isn't the only way to level up this year. If you want to know the 3 skills that you need to start implementing right now for a better and more fulfilled life this year and beyond, make sure you check out this video.